Hello, everybody, and welcome to Non Sequitur News for April 2nd, 2025. This is a time machine episode. I am Merwat, and along with the sentient AI from the future, we go over 10 articles, and I need to stop something. So today is a time machine episode. I've been, I got sick and then I tried to do the show and it just didn't work out. And it lasted a lot longer than I was anticipating. So now I'm back though and ready to do all the time machine episodes. And then tonight we're going to do another show. That said, let's get into it. We're going to talk about a round trip ticket to Texas. What a deal. Claude has a learning mode. From coal to gas to data center, Hollow Knight Silksong confirmed, Snow White box office, meteor showers in 2025, TikTok the clock says continued. What do Nintendo Switch cartridges taste like? And finally, Wicked for Good. I haven't fully loaded my screen up, so we're going to have to do this last several things live. That's okay though. It is a time machine episode, so I'm going to be ripping through these really quick. I've got to get out of here by 3 o'clock. Otherwise, the time machine will lock me in place. We'll have to wait another day. Anyway, that's it, folks. Let's get into it. You know what? I'm going to do this one live right now. Bonk, bonk, bonk. All right. So I haven't loaded up the destination pages, so I haven't logged into anything. I don't know what's going to actually happen, but let's get into this. So the first article is passengers end up in Texas instead of Tokyo after spending 12 hours in the air on a diverted flight. An American Airlines flight to Tokyo turned back to the U.S. in a 12-hour journey. The Boeing 787 U-turned over the Pacific due to a maintenance issue. It's one of the longest flight diversions this year. Yeah, they spent half their day on a plane, only to end up in Texas instead of Tokyo. When you click the link, you get taken over to the source. Pete Sim over at businessinsider.com put the article together. If you want today's articles, you can hit !NSN in the chat over on Twitch, but they're already embedded on the YouTube side of things. Eventually, they're going to be posted over to the podcast as well. Anyway, just do a search for ohmTown wherever you catch pod, and you'll find ohmTown's Non Sequitur News, along with the 6 other podcasts that we do weekly. Non Sequitur News, though, is a daily show. All right, so basically there was a maintenance issue, and after 12 hours of flying, they're right back in Texas. So flight 167 took off Monday at 11 a.m. from New York's John F. Kennedy International Airport. 7 hours into the journey, it had some mechanical issue. So it then traveled another 5 hours, crossing half of the U.S. to land at Fort Worth International Airport shortly after 10 p.m. 12-hour flight was only about an hour shy of the average flight time from New York to Tokyo. So there might be a graphic here. You'd be able to see it because I can't in ohmTown. We're air gapped. So for example, it says, while spending hours on a diverted flight can be frustrating for passengers, it's typically an easier alternative for the airline than landing at the closest airport. For example, the flight went past Seattle and Denver, but Dallas is America's main hub. Landing there likely made it easier to reroute passengers, find a new crew, repair any issues with the plane, etc. So yeah, pretty wild. Unbelievable though. 12 hours only to end up right back in the country you started. Let's keep going. Next article is over in Late Night Geeks. This is about this deal that went down. The affidavit of a Rippling employee caught spying for Deel reads like a movie, and this is what the sentient AI said. I keep forgetting that they're not over there anymore. They're over here. They're not with me. Anyway, so Rippling released the affidavit of its employee who admitted that he was spying for Deel. You click the link, you get taken over to the source. Julia Bort, Marianne Azevedo put the article together. I don't know who this is on the screen, but they're basically pointing at, yeah, can you believe this affidavit of a Rippling employee caught spying for Deel reads like a movie. So it's the latest escapade between the two, Rippling and Deel. Rippling filed a lawsuit against Deel saying that there was corporate espionage. Reads like a movie script. I can't wait for this to actually hit a movie because this sounds really amazing. So it's the latest escapade between the two. TechCrunch has documented the most Hollywood-esque parts of the testimony below. So it's at techcrunch.com where this is. But various people are talking about this. So let's see. Be aware that this is only one side of the story. The side Rippling wants everyone to know, as it's a PR machine has blasted out. The CEO, Parker Conrad, storm tweeted about it. To recap, Rippling, a workforce management platform, very publicly announced last week that it was suing Deel over its alleged spying, leveling charges ranging from violation of the RICO Racketeering Act, often used to prosecute members of the mafia. That's a little side note that they threw in here in this discussion. To misappropriation of trade secrets and unfair competition. Basically, they set up a sting and tracked this person who was doing searches for Deel. So O'Brien testified that they offered to pay him $5,000 per month, with the first payment $6,000 in a later transaction in crypto. O'Brien testified that he conducted searches on Slack, Google Drive, and other Rippling resources for information and communicated this to his contacts at Deel via telecom. He turned over information on sales leads, product roadmaps, customer accounts, names of superstar employees, info on sanctioned countries, and whatever else was asked for, O'Brien testified. So, caught in a simple trap by basically Rippling setting up a fake channel called a fake Slack channel called Defectors. The Slack channel existed, but it was a ruse. It was entirely set up to be a honeypot. And O'Brien testified that he was instructed to search for the Defectors channel, and shortly after he did so, he was told not to, that it may be a trap. Nice. Anyway, he was caught. Somebody else must have been feeding information to Deel, and O'Brien was just the patsy, basically, but still a willing idiot, I guess, or a useful idiot. All right, let's keep going. The next article is over in Technology Today. Claude's new learning mode will prompt students to answer questions on their own. According to a recent Digital Education Council survey, as many as 86% of university students globally use artificial intelligence to assist in their coursework. It's a staggering statistic that's likely to have far-reaching consequences for years to come. So it's not surprising to see a company like Anthropic announce Claude for Education, an initiative it says will equip universities to play a key role in actively shaping AI's role in society. So again, you click this link, you get taken over to the source. Engadget is where this one is aggregated from. So Igor Bonifacek put the article together. The deck statement says it's like having a poison immune Socrates for a teacher. Yeah, so basically you can ask AI anything and it'll spit something out, but unless you know it, you can't actually be totally sure that it's legit. It's a staggering statistics, 86%, almost 100%. You might as well just round up to the 90, because there are going to be others that haven't, that just don't say that they do, but they do. At the heart of Claude for Education is new learning mode that changes how Anthropic's chatbot interacts with users. Interesting. So, Claude for Education is available to all pro users with a .edu email address. So it's going to lock it down around the .edu domain. That's fine. All of this powered by 3.7 Sonnet, Anthropic's new hybrid reasoning model, and tied to Claude's projects feature, which gives you a way to organize your chats around specific topics. So rather than providing an answer outright when asked a question, it'll employ the Socratic method of conversation, asking questions like, what evidence supports your conclusion, as a way to guide your users to understanding. Yeah, some professors actually do that. Some nowadays, I don't know what to tell you. It seems like professors don't challenge anything. They just provide you a step-by-step, color-by-number type of process, and you get it done, and you're done. And you get your A. So how much you retain is basically how much you innately retain, not necessarily what you've actually learned. Let's keep moving. The next article is over in Technology Today. Pennsylvania's largest coal-fired power plant, now retired, is going to become a gas-powered data center campus. The owners of what was once Pennsylvania's biggest coal-fired power plant said Wednesday that they will turn it into a $10 billion natural gas-powered data center campus designed to capitalize on the fast-growing energy demands of big tech companies to power artificial intelligence and cloud computing applications. Again, click the link, it takes you over there, and no, I don't have any ad blocking software on my computer, it's the browser. So Mark Levy put the article together, it's over at Tech Explorer. The former Homer City Generation Station, about 50 miles east of Pittsburgh, will host 7 gas-fired turbines to power data centers on site with up to 4.5 gigawatts of electricity, according to owners, an investor group named Homer City Development. This is Mark Levy over at techexplore.com that's writing this. Let's see here. Could also supply electricity to the wider power grid, the group said, although it did not give details about any confirmed data center clients or declined to say how much of its electricity could end up feeding into the wider grid. So last month, the group demolished the 3 cooling towers and 4 smokestacks still standing from the former coal plant. It shut down in 2023 after 54 years of production. So, interesting. So the late 2022 debut of OpenAI's ChatGPT, built with help from Microsoft data centers, ignited worldwide demand for chatbots and other generative AI products that typically require large amounts of computing power to train and operate. Yeah, there's supposedly nuclear power plants coming online, designed just for power to just Microsoft. Guess we'll see what happens. So there you go. Coal-fired power plant now retired to become massive gas-powered campus for AI and data centers. Not sure what everybody will think of that. The next article is over in the WarCrafters channel. Hollow Knight Silksong reconfirms release window 2025, announces Switch 2 version. Hollow Knight Silksong has recently been confirmed for the upcoming Nintendo Switch 2 and gained an official release window during the recent Nintendo Direct. And it went by so fast. I thought it was really amazing. People were reading all over the place. Just amazed that it just was passively thrown into a card stack of presentations. It's just amazing. This is probably the most in demand game that's out there. One of the most eagerly awaited games of the year, and the fan base was glad to see it finally getting an official release window. Let's just hope that it's not $80 to $90 like other Nintendo 2 games. Well, you click this link, takes you over to Game Rant, and Gabriel Machado Pariza put the article together. Fans are excited despite the lack of news following the teaser shown during the April 2nd Nintendo Direct. Yeah, I watched that, and I thought it was pretty amazing, but I'm not a big fan of Nintendo. So it says, unfortunately, Hollow Knight Silksong appeared during the April 2nd Nintendo Direct, confirming, or fortunately, I should say, not unfortunately, a release window of 2025, and that the title will be available for the upcoming Switch 2, which will be out June 5th. That doesn't mean the game will be out June 5th. While the game was only showcased in a very short teaser that features the protagonist Hornet exploring caves and fighting enemies, it was enough to excite the fan base. Indeed. Hey, there's a lot more over at this article, so go over and check it all out. People from various walks of life were predicting that it was going to be dropped in 2025 or whatever, but they say it could still be released in June 2025, but that does not seem very likely, is what the author says. I don't know. All I know is that people are really just chomping at the bit for this thing. So, all All right, our next article is over in the Continuity Report. It's one of our 7 weekly shows. It's on Saturdays. Snow White's box office is a rarity for Disney's live-action remakes after #1 opening weekend, which I thought people were panning the hell out of this thing. So weeks before the release of Snow White, it seemed like Disney was preparing for disaster. While it's unfortunate, especially since the original Snow White animated film is one of the most beloved Disney movies, it's undeniable that the release of the live-action adaptation truly has been disastrous. Reviews for Snow White have not been positive, with Screen Rant's own Rachel Lamont giving it a disappointing score of 5 out of 10. Due to the review bombing, Snow White is currently the lowest rated movie on IMDb, which is the worst case scenario for Disney. Again, you click the link, it takes you over to the source. Yeah, I've seen trailers of this. I don't know what to think of it. It's weird. It seems like it's been kind of, everything has been softened and it's surreal like looking. But anyway, it says additionally, while many reviews have claimed that Rachel Ziegler is a perfect Snow White, she's been criticized for her comments and behavior while promoting the film. Because of this, Snow White has continued a disappointing live-action Disney movie streak. So the second weekend box office performance was terrible, but Snow White is at negative 66.36 from the first week. Wow. Look at all those negatives, man. They come out gunning, but then they just fall on their face. Only Jungle Book went up. Anyway, Snow White grossed just $14.2 million in its second week at the box office, which is a 66.4% drop from its opening weekend. The significant box office drop has set an unfortunate new record for Disney remakes. Dumbo's 60.4 was in 2019, but nope, not anymore. Let's see what else was in there. Little Mermaid, Maleficent. I don't know why Maleficent is in this, but okay. Yeah, all of these are just, I don't know. Yikes. He's gonna slap you. So, in addition to Snow White, only 5 other Disney live-action remakes have opened at #1 at the box office and failed to hold it for a second weekend. And they are Maleficent, Cinderella, Dumbo, Aladdin, and The Little Mermaid. All right, let's keep going. The next article is over in Wanted. 2025 is a year full of meteor showers, and a big one arrives next week. You don't need to pay for a streaming service to watch a sky full of shooting stars. Let's click this link. I don't know what is going to be on the other side of these links as of right now because I didn't log into anything and I didn't preload anything. Joe Hindi over at cnet.com put this article together. You don't need to pay for a streaming service. So look outside, touch some grass. Yeah, do it at night though, and don't look at the bright ball of fire in the sky. So the Lyrids are coming April 15th to April 30th. The peak is April 21st to the 22nd with 18 meteors per hour. It's in the, let's see, we're I don't know what to really say here about this. Eta Aquariids, 50 meteors per hour. That's from April 20th to May 21st. And then Alpha Capricornids is from July 12th to August 12th. That's 5 meteors per hour, but it's over this really broad time. So I don't know. It says it's not a strong shower, but it's notable for producing some rather large fireballs. Southern Delta Aquariids, Perseids. This goes throughout the year, folks. Southern Taurids, Orionids, Draconids, and so on. Big list. Go and check it all out. It's over at cnet.com by Joe Hindi. The next article is over in Technology Today. Amazon makes last-minute bid for TikTok. Amazon apparently has made a bid to buy TikTok, which faces a U.S. ban if not sold by its Chinese owner, the New York Times has reported. When you click this link, you get taken over to Tech Explorer. I'm not sure who the byline's for, but okay. Amazon declined to comment for the report. The offer arrived in a letter to officials involved in talks regarding the sale of TikTok to appease U.S. national security concerns, according to the New York Times. According to reports, the most likely solution would see existing U.S. investors in ByteDance roll over their stakes into a new independent global TikTok company. Additional U.S. investors, including Oracle and Blackstone, the private equity firm, would be brought on to reduce the proportion of Chinese investors. But if it's not about the invest, it's about the data, if that's what everybody is arguing about. But I don't know. I don't get it. But only a few companies own just a huge swath of stuff. Gosh. Anyway, so any deal to divest TikTok from ByteDance will require the approval of Beijing, and the administration says that they may offer to reduce tariffs on China as a way to get Beijing's approval for the sale. Well, hold on to your pocketbooks, everybody. Let's go on. The next article is over on the Mobile Channel. Will the Nintendo Switch 2 cartridges taste just as yummy this time around? Once you pop, you just can't stop. That's right. We're talking about the favorite food in the world, Nintendo Switch cartridges. If you ever want to consume something ridiculously expensive, something that tastes truly terrible, pop a copy of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate into your mouth right now. That's what the author of this article is saying. Let's click the link and just go on over to the source. Anna Valens over at Vice.com put this article together. They say, I assure you, it will make the actual BOS situation at a Smash competition feel like Febreze. Nintendo unveiled brand new information about the Nintendo Switch 2 today, April 2nd. That's what today is. And talked about a bunch of stuff. Silksong, Kong 64, spiritual successor, Bloodborne-like From Software game that everybody says is going to suck. Even though it's From Software, it's still going to be meh because it's PvPvE. Anyway, their cartridges, they are red, and I want to know if they can stick it. They want to know if they can stick it in their mouth, unlike those disgusting gray snacks Nintendo put out for the Nintendo Switch. So the Switch 2 might taste better. Anyway, after Nintendo Direct today, the author crawled through the Nintendo Switch 2 landing page looking through the company's expanded information on the upcoming console. And they said, therefore, it's impossible to know whether the Switch 2's red game cards will be just as awful to eat as the original Switch 1. Come on now. Oh, there's a lot more over here at this article, but you'll have to go over and check it all out. I don't know. I don't think that the Nintendo Switch 2 cards are compatible yet. I'm not sure. I heard something about something not being compatible, but then I haven't gone back because, well, I'm not a fan of Nintendo. Anyway, let's keep moving. Our last article for the April 2nd, 2025 Non Sequitur News is in the Wanted channel. That's another one of our shows on Saturday. I didn't go through all of these to see which ones were on Saturday and Sunday, but we do 6 weekly shows that take news from the week and not necessarily from a show that we've already done. Anyway, so the first footage from Wicked for Good just screened, and here's what happened. Cynthia Erivo's Elphaba, Ariana Grande's Glinda, not Galinda, and more familiar Wizard of Oz characters star in the sequel musical out in November. Again, when you click the link, you get taken over to Gizmodo.com this time. Jermaine Lucier put the article together. Yeah, it was quite an intriguing surprise when the original Wicked was found out to be part 1 of 2. So the past 2 years, Universal chose CinemaCon to debut the first footage of its adaptation of Wicked, and now with the second and final film on the way, it's happened again. Director John M. Chu, producer Mark Platt, and star Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande were all on hand to debut the first footage of the highly anticipated Wicked for Good. And while it's not yet online, here's what happened. And they go through the whole thing as to what goes on. So I won't ruin it. I just want to tease people to go over to the source. They say At the end, I know much of that doesn't make sense, but it was a trailer filled with lots of very cool and intriguing moments. It certainly felt like a trailer audiences are sure to see later this summer, but we'll have to wait and see. At the end, the trailer says, as the footage ends, Elphaba is standing in place. She puts up her right arm and draws her hat in. She puts up her left arm and draws her broom in. And then she says, I'm off to see the wizard, followed by scenes of her flying through Oz, being chased by the monkeys. All right. Well, that's it. Well, we are off to see the front page of ohmtown.com because that's the end of the show. I did it in record time, I think. That's it. I'm Mayor Watt. I have to go, so I'm going to call the show done, and hopefully I'll be able to prepare for today's Thursday episode, or tomorrow's Thursday episode, since this is a time machine. Woo woo. Here, let's do this. We'll do that. This is a time machine episode, and so we are going to go back to the future, get ready for the show, and hopefully my mayoral duties don't keep me from doing the show tonight. But we're all caught up, sort of, maybe. See you later, everybody.